Ladies and gentlemen, my name is Walter Cronkite, and these are our headlines today. The first presidential debate between President Biden and former President Trump is behind us, and it appears that our great country has once again shown to the world that we here in America are truly the best of the best. The unexpected early parliamentary election in France result in victory of Macron's enemies. And just across the channel, in an equally surprising early election, the ruling party in London is facing an utter defeat. Stay tuned for more news that makes you question if reality is just one big comedy sketch.
DACHgag TV presents the new original sub-series called BBC News.
And we begin with our favorite frog eaters voting this weekend in a snap election called by President Macron, to the surprise of basically everybody in France and abroad.
On a un taré à la tête de l'État, là.
France elected its members of the European Parliament on June 9th, but as soon as the results were announced, a surprise.
Je dissous donc ce soir l'Assemblée nationale.
It was a bombshell announcement.
Et c'est vraiment un coup de tonnerre politique ce soir.
A big blow and a pretty big surprise.
C'est historique.
C'est un pyromane de la République.
La vie politique, c'est prendre des risques.
On the left, several leading figures had strong words for the president.
Le président de la République obéit à Jordan Bardella.
Vous avez un président de la République qui joue avec le feu.
Emmanuel Macron a fait la courte échelle au Rassemblement national pendant toute cette campagne européenne. Il fallait faire un duo. C'était une campagne que de lui et Marine Le Pen.
But some see it as an opportunity. But the left will have to unite to succeed.
Il n'y a qu'un chemin pour empêcher la victoire de l'extrême droite. C'est celui de l'union de la gauche.
Il faut arrêter les conneries. Est-ce qu'on veut gagner ensemble ou est-ce qu'on veut perdre séparés?
Là, on est quelque part au pied du mur.
And the French left indeed did just that and united into a very broad coalition from the extreme left to the center left, which even includes actual and proudly declared communists.
7 months ago, when their previous alliance, known as the NUPES, imploded, it looked like France's left-leaning parties would never be able to agree. But now the Socialists, the Greens, France Unbowed, and the French Communist parties will now be referred to as the Popular Front. In a joint statement, the group declared a new page in history of France has been written. On Wednesday, left-leaning parties announced the distribution of constituencies. France Unbowed will have 229 candidates, the Socialist Party 175, the Greens 92, and finally the French Communist Party with 50. The question now is who will run for each seat. The next step will be ironing out the policy agreements and deciding on who is the leader. If they can iron out their differences and the alliance holds, the Popular Front could become a contender to form a majority in the new French parliament.
This, however, still wasn't enough to beat the party of Marine Le Pen in the first round of the national parliamentary elections in France.
Now, exit polls from the first round of France's parliamentary elections suggest the far right have made historic gains. Turnout was the highest for 40 years. Marine Le Pen's far-right National Party came top with more than a third of the vote, followed by a surge in support for the left-wing coalition with around 28% of the poll. President Macron's gamble to hold the snap election saw his centre-right alliance of parties relegated to third place.
But since the French are known for their love of weird numerical systems and complex state bureaucracy, not all hope was lost yet for the left-wing Popular Front and Macron's centrist liberal renaissance.
But this fight is not over yet. President Emmanuel Macron took a huge gamble by calling the election. Smile, says the child, and he does. The French president is now hoping a broad alliance of the centre and left can keep the National Rally out of power in a second round of voting.
A final result won't be known for another week, with a second round of voting for the National Assembly's 577 seats next Sunday.
And as the initial exit polls after the second round of French elections show, Macron's master plan may have actually worked. To the delight of international bankers, multinational corporations, mainstream politicians, as well as naturally the Islamic masses, both already inside France and those who want to get there in the future, the main force opposing the policy of open borders has been stopped.
Et maintenant?
Le nouveau Front populaire est crédité à 20h de 180 à 215 sièges.
C'est 10 sièges pour divers gauches.
The left-wing coalition led by Jean-Luc Mélenchon has come first with a projected 175 to
205 seats. President Macron's centrist ensemble has come second with 150 to 175 seats. And despite winning the first round, Marine Le Pen's national rally has come third with a projected 115 to 150.
But what beat the national rally was a concerted effort by the opponents to effectively thwart him and Marine Le Pen, to stop the national rally rather than necessarily seizing victory for themselves. And that is frankly borne out by the polls, which have shown a big difference between the first round of this election a week ago and what we're seeing now. And that is that the biggest party is projected to be a left-wing alliance, which includes communists, socialists, and a party called France Insoumise, led by Jean-Luc Mélenchon, the veteran left-wing campaigner, socialist leader, and he has already said that he wants to take power.
Whilst the exit polls are just that is only polls and not the official final results, one thing is already sure. Mr. Bardella has lost these elections to not just the far-left communists and socialists, but also to the center-left bloc loyal to the President Macron.
Unfortunately, the alliance of dishonor and the dangerous electoral arrangements between Emmanuel Macron, Gabriel Attal, and the far left have deprived the French from a recovery policy that they voted for when they voted for us last Sunday with a turnout of 34% of the votes in our favor. Tonight's electoral agreements have plunged France into the arms of Jean-Luc Mélenchon. In the second round, these improbable alliances made it impossible for the French to choose a new policy. In spite of it all, this has been a major breakthrough for the national rally.
This party, I think it is clear, listening to Bardella as well, that they have already accepted that they've lost, with Bardella basically saying this is anti-democratic for all the other parties to gang up against them.
Everybody understands that these electoral arrangements orchestrated between the Élysée Palace, between an isolated president and an extremist far left will not get the country nowhere. With a single party, the concern, the question of all our fellow countrymen is, what shall we do? I can only hear the frustration of millions of French tonight. I understand their concerns on a daily basis, but I also know what their expectations are. But for the past few months, there's a new wind of hope blowing over the country. Tonight is only the beginning. An old world has collapsed, and nothing can stop a people that has begun hoping again. Long live France, long live the Republic.
Jordan Bardella, the young right-wing candidate of the National Rally, at 28 years of age, was hoping to become the first Gen Z leader in Europe, but that was apparently not meant to be, or at least not yet for now. The French voters have instead decided to listen to another illustrious Gen Z celebrity, whose face better represents the new image of France.
Star striker Kylian Mbappé has called on French people to vote, as he warned it, against extremes as to when the far right seeks to take power in upcoming parliamentary elections. Mbappé, who's captain of the French national team, said he wanted to convince young people that their votes could make a difference.
I'd like to address all the French people, especially the younger generation. We are a generation that can make a difference. Today, it's clear that the extremes are on the doorstep of power. We have the opportunity to choose the future of our country. And that's why I'm calling on all young people to go out and vote, to really realise the importance of the situation. We need to identify with values of diversity, tolerance and respect. Diversity, tolerance and respect. Diversity, tolerance and respect.
beneath the political fireworks is a divided country that feels like it's lost its way. The City of Light still not sure who will lead it out of the dark. Mark Lowen, BBC News, Paris.
And that's all now for the first part of our three-part episode. We'll switch from Paris to London in the second part, which will soon be released as a separate video. So thank you very much for watching our Big Black Cock News so far, and we hope you'll also join us in the next part where we'll cover the elections in Great Britain. Stay tuned, stay safe, and don't forget to always listen to your corporate overlords.
This new world is full of possibilities, but for us, it comes with great responsibility. We help the world's largest pension funds and insurance companies keep their promises, so the people who are always there for us will always have the retirements there for them. We invest for parents, for grandparents. They might as well be our parents. And we owe it to each of them to help answer the questions they're facing in this new world. When will I be able to retire? Will I have enough for my children's education? Will I outlive my savings? We are BlackRock. Together we will provide the answers that investors need to move forward. We will leave no stone unturned. We will walk in our clients' shoes. We will go where we can do the most good. BlackRock.